Hey, Sheri Taylor here. It is a blessing to do what I do. A lot of folks say, oh, you get so many perks with your job. Yes, they are perks, but I consider them more blessings because I've worked so hard along the way. One of the favorite things that I get to do, red carpet events, award shows. And when you mix interviewing and meeting people and red carpet events and award shows, you mix those together, you get the creme de la creme. And I'm talking about the one that used to blow my mind. And I always said, I want to be part of that when I was a kid. It's the Oscars, and that's coming up on April 25th. So here I am, a little bit of a part of it right now because I get to interview Icelandic animator and director Gísli Halldórsson.
Well, yeah, I've got an animated short that's being nominated for Best Animated Short. And I'm going to go to LA. I'm going to America for the first time. That's exciting enough for me.
Welcome.
Yeah, going to quarantine in the hotel until the ceremony. So, yeah, my first Oscar event, obviously. So
let's talk about your Oscar-nominated animated short. It's called Yes, People. You have worked on many projects, and one thing that I love when I was researching you, my children love the book Room on the Broom. You worked on the animation of Room on the Broom. We watched that so many times. So even before meeting you, I actually met you through some of your work. So your work is beautiful. And Yes, People, I absolutely adored. I wanted to show my kids, but there's some parts of it. There's like one little part you can't really show my 10-year-old. The 14-year-old would totally get it, totally be embarrassed. However, let's talk about Yes, People. It is amazing, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, it's short about people living in an apartment block. It's about their relationships, their daily routines and habits, and how they cope. And this, as a side note, they can only say the word "já," which is Icelandic for yes.
Yes, and
so it's a kind of a semi-silent film. Sorry.
I think it translates so well because we all say yes, and yes can mean many different things. And the yow, as you say, the characters through that, there's so many different yows, and there's some that were more enthusiastic, some were less enthusiastic. Let's talk about the different generations in the apartment block, because it's such a commentary on the world itself, because the people that you would think would be slow in this or just not really happy or just not motivated, they're not the ones that aren't motivated. Let's talk a little bit more about that.
Yeah, I mean, I really wanted to have a wide spectrum of people. It was meant to be a film about people. Mm-hmm. So it was a challenge for me not to have a sort of one protagonist and have a story about one person's hero's journey. It's sort of a celebration of people and trying to get, you can't get all the characters types, obviously, because mm-hmm. It's only 6 people. But I tried to, in my head, I thought of, the white light being people, and then if you refract it, you get the 3 primary colors, which are the 3 apartments in the film: the green, the red, and the blue. The primary light colors, mm-hmm. as in that's so that was sort of the rough concept of the types of people. And yeah, you're right, I really want to try and show kind of all ages. I think I didn't want to go below teenager because that's when life is generally exciting for people, and they're already growing and learning, and they don't really have a routine, but they're so brilliant at breaking them, and it's not really an issue for for
You're right. You're right. I see things so differently through my 10-year-old son versus my 14-year-old son, because my 14-year-old son's more like the video game kid in there. I recognize that. And I actually had a conversation recently with someone about how they'll stay up all night, but they'll miss so much of life because they're staying up playing video games. So energetic for that, but not for the rest of the world. And let me ask you, did some of these characters pop up from your real life? Like, are some of them loosely based on people that you know or people that you've observed?
Yeah, all of them. Yeah. And there's some of me in them as well.
Really?
So of course, yeah. I have to be. Yeah, it's all observed of people that I know closely, or I swear I knew 3 kids like that, the teenager, exactly, sort of really unresponsive and floaty, and just don't. And now they're brilliant. Like they've developed their person, but there's just always a period in a teenager's life where they just kind of float like steam or something, and nothing seems to be happening, and everybody's worried about them, and
Exactly. I
really get out of
understand that
it.
fully. As a mom of a 14-year-old, I understand that one fully at all. But no, I love it because it's like the teenager did actually come to life in one scene in that, and it's brilliant. And let me ask you, at what point while you were making this, I know you're making it, you want to share your art, you have something inside you want to get out. But at what point did you know that it was heading toward Oscar or toward, I mean, you're doing the circuits, you're doing the festivals, you're getting the laurels, which is amazing. Congratulations on all those beyond just the Oscars. Congratulations on that stepping stone. At what point did you know it was heading toward Oscar?
I really have to be honest, never. I really didn't. I was told I should apply to be eligible very early on, actually before it went to festivals, and I sort of ignored it for a while, and then the same person kept knocking on my door, and we were actually planning to do a theatrical release in New York, like rent a cinema, because there was such much faith about it.
Yeah.
And then COVID happened, and yeah, so I don't know. I never really, even when it was made eligible, I already felt like, right, that's great. This is good. This is a stamp of approval. And then it was shortlisted. I guess I have a very good system of managing my expectations, so it was always a surprise.
Well, I love that. Very humble. And I love that. We call that the universe. Like you said, your friend kept knocking on the door saying, yes, you need to do this. That's the universe talking to you. So they made it happen. It was meant to be. The beautiful thing is it's computer animated, but it has this stopgap feel to it. Were you shooting for that?
Yeah. It's shot on twos, as we say in animation speak, and it sort of reminds you of the stop motion quality. I just find that style gives the performance more presence, and there's an odd micro engagement in the brain when you have this gap in the animation where the brain is sort of engaged, filling in the gaps of the movement. I don't know if this makes sense.
No, it does.
Yeah, and also I was trying to steer away from the sort of CG look as much as possible, because it was a very low budget film, and there is I find it kind of inauthentic when low budget films try to look like a high budget films. It's not honest. It's not, you kind of see through it, and it always troubles me when I watch films like that, and I just sort of like feel like films should be what they are, and don't pretend. I mean, put as much passion as you can into them, so and all that, but of course don't settle for less. But it was a way for to just try to make it a little bit more in tune with budget and restrictions. And
well, as you said, people appreciate, and they know when you're being authentic, and it is authentic. And I like, because you take the viewer on the ride with you. They go along and they're part of it. They're engaged, because like you said, their brain is filling in this little piece and that little piece. So it's authentic, it's real, it's the reason why we love classic old films that had tiny budgets compared to what we have today, because you can feel the real, the natural. Those people, the experience. You're looking for the experience. You want to connect with who's on the screen. Even this, you have the screen between you. You want to feel like there is a real connection. So you blew it out of the park.
Thanks. Yeah.
So what is next for you? I know you're heading into LA, like you said. You're going to quarantine until it's time for the big night, which is a little over a week away. Are you like so nervous? Are you so nervous? Because I would be extremely, or just still in that state of shock.
Now I am. No, I'm okay, because I have so much to do, so I haven't had time to think about it or process it. I'm sure at some stage I'll panic. When I'm in the hotel room quarantining, I'll have time to think about it.
Exactly.
But
Deep breaths, lots of water, just find your zen.
yeah, but I've met my fellow nominees on Zoom, and I really like those guys. I'm really impressed with the selection of the films. I really like the mixture of big studio films and independent films. I'm really happy with the selection. So I'm kind of excited just to meet them as well and have a chat. And
That's wonderful. You never know. Could be a collaboration down the road. You never know.
you never know.
You never know. And we're excited because in our area of as we call it here, it's a southern thing. You won't be in that part of America, but we call it our neck of the woods. So in our neck of the woods, your short will be able to be viewed this coming Saturday at the Peace Center, along with, I believe, 10 other films or so that they're showing. So a lot of people, they'll see some of the big budget or the big blockbuster ones that are nominated, but they never see these until you see the little clips and this, that, and the other. And I think it's very important that a lot of people are being able to view them ahead of time so they know what's out there, because there's some beautiful work.
Yeah, absolutely. The shorts, they don't have such a big platform, but this is obviously a fantastic platform.
No, I think it's wonderful, wonderful. And what is next? Once you get past Oscar night, I know you're gonna have to catch your breath afterwards, because like you said, you might have that little moment of panic, and then afterwards it's like, whoa, I just went through that. What's next? So do you start marketing and pushing for other works, or would you like to expand the characters in this?
Yeah, I have other ideas and writings. I have been writing a lot, and I definitely have more in me, and not just stories about characters that can only say one word. But yeah, and I also, because I had to kind of write a big picture around these characters in Yes People, to mostly for practical purposes, to facilitate a smooth animation process, because you have to decide every single move, and so I have a huge story for them that was meant to be the backstory just to help me, but it actually excites me a lot. So yeah, a bit of that and a few other ideas,
Perfect.
film and TV and stuff. Yeah.
My 10-year-old, when I was dropping him off at school this morning, I said, do you want me to ask him anything for you? Because we call him Baby Scorsese, because instead of playing on the playground, he directs other kids of how to do things. So we just see the budding director in him, but he uses his Legos for stop motion. So how long did this film actually take you?
So it wasn't full time, but from the seed of the idea was 2012 until end of 2019.
Wow.
And about like the seed of the idea was 2012. Things came together. I had an idea about making the film in 2013. Started writing, designing it, storyboarding, and talking to people for maybe 5 years. And that was painful, but full of joy and meaning, because I was working on my own thing in between jobs. And then we got the production grant from the Icelandic Film Center in 2018. So there was a kind of almost a year and a half of full-time production, but very small crew. So that's why the time is stretched out more than usually.
You have your hands on it, so which is perfect, because it's like you brought a child to life. That was your child that you brought to life. So yeah. So basically, you have almost a 9-year-old child that you are actually putting on a national stage. So I love that. Actually, international stage. Excuse me. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
So congratulations. I know we just met, but I am so excited for you, and I will have my fingers and toes crossed for you come next Sunday night. So I'm excited, and take a deep breath, enjoy it all. Maybe do a little travel journal, a blog about it, because I sure know a lot of people that would like to know the process, because the process we talked about, getting to production and getting it out there and distribution, and now the process of what happens behind the scenes when you are Oscar nominated and you're going up on that big scene. So congratulations, many blessings to you. Thank you.
Thank you. It's not a bad idea. Thank you very much.
Thank you
Thanks
so
for the
much.
chat.
Thank you for sharing your art. We do appreciate it. Thank you so much. Have
Thank
a
you.
great day, and we're pulling for you. We're pulling for you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. For more information on Yes People and the Oscars, you can go to magic989.com as well as odyssey.com. And while you're there, why don't you download the odyssey.com app? It's absolutely free. You can take us with you wherever you go inside your smartphone. The best in news, sports, entertainment, music, and podcasts. And of course, while you're there, also like and follow the Divas Dish podcast. That's me.
An Odyssey station.